Hi guys, it's Irene and welcome to ILO on Location episode 13. 13! Okay. Lucky number 13 and lucky me because today I have an amazing international diva goddess on the show live from her home in Hollywood, the fabulously talented Regina. Regina is a true triple threat, soon to be a quad threat. She is not only an actress, a singer, and a dancer who works all around the world, starring in theatrical productions like Hairspray, Frozen, Ain't Misbehavin', Chicago, Little Shop of Horrors, Fame, her own original musical cabaret show that she performs on cruise ships, and so many more fabulous parts. She also has her own jazz album titled Regina LeVert for sale on iTunes, and she is publishing her first book this year and has big plans to produce the content in multiple media platforms. Okay, someone is very busy, very busy. Oh, God bless. Anyways, Regina, she will be my awesome guest today, and we're going to talk about everything from her current starring role in the hit musical Rock of Ages in Hollywood, playing the sexy part of Justice, of course, pre-COVID and post-COVID, her experiences working on the cruise ships, starring in her own cabaret show, and her feelings on the future of the cruise ship industry, her Christian faith and how important it is to her and her life and her spirituality and her positivity and how it keeps her grounded. As well, we are going to talk about her soon to be announced secret project and so much more. So pour yourself a glass of rosé, make yourself a cup of tea, and stick around for my conversation with Regina. Welcome to the ILO on Location podcast. I'm your host, Irene Loper. That's ILO for short. And my podcast is all about having fun, connecting with your friends, and breaking shit down. Guys, I'm practically halfway to 100, and when I look around at my circle of friends, I see the most incredible women. They make me laugh out loud, they support me through everything, and they inspire me with their amazingness. So, join me on my couch, grab a bottle of rosé, and let me bring you the gift of the gab to brighten your day. Hello, Regina.
What is happening, Diva? It's happening right now.
Oh my gosh, you look gorgeous. Look at you sitting out in your garden. And where are you? California?
California, yeah.
I have those lanterns behind you.
Love those things.
Oh my gosh, look at your beautiful flowers behind you.
Well, trying to get out in the nature, girl. How you have your glass of wine?
I got my glass of wine. I've got a tea. Is that ice cream?
No ice cream, girl, because the COVID staying at home without the gym is no joke. So you like how and like an avocado? No, I'm going to head right for the ice cream.
Yes, which is the next best thing.
It is. It's been really good to have this to look forward to. I love it so much, and I'm so excited about being on your show, girl. Come on.
No, I'm so excited to have you. Let me just start by introducing you. Gang, I have the absolute pleasure of having Regina LeVert on the show today. Is that how you pronounce your last name?
That's the way it's pronounced correctly, but most Americans will say LeVert.
Okay, so Regina LeVert. We're going to work on my American dialect during this entire episode today. You just call shit out if it's sounding too Canadian. Regina LeVert is on ILO on Location today. And when I say triple threat, I mean triple threat actress, dancer, singer, and from what I understand, soon to be writer with a new book coming out, which we're going to talk about at some point today. Regina is a trained professional. She trained at California State University in California. She trained at HB Studios in New York City. She's an award winner, the Kennedy Center Award of Excellence, the Irene Ryan Best Supporting Actress Award. She has traveled to over 30 different countries on cruise ships and performing in national world tours. Woman has done it all when it comes to performing. So today we're going to talk a bit about performing. We're going to talk a bit about your faith, which I understand you're very passionate about. And we're going to talk about some of your future projects and some of your current projects. So thank you for joining me, Regina.
Girl, so good to see you and just be here hanging out.
Yay. And we met through the fabulous Tara C. McLeod and Ken Overby, two fabulous divas besides ourselves as divas.
Of course, yes. Yeah, I remember, God, I actually have a great story for you that it's been like 20 years in the making, because when I met you for the first time in Vancouver, when I was there, our girl Tara took me to Granville Island Tea, that tea company that's there. That I've been ordering from them ever since. And I put in an order like maybe a month and a half ago. And, all the stuff came. It was beautiful. I wrote the owner a little email and said, oh my, I love you guys so much. Because Irene, the first time I ordered from them when I was at home, they sent me the tea without paying for it. Sent me the tea. I had it in my hand and they left a little note. Hey, like when you get a minute, if you could just pop that money back on Uber, that'd be awesome. I mean, I ran to the post office. I'm like, I want to pay for that beautiful gesture of trust that you're just going to just be like, hey, when you get a second. So anyway, that left such an impression on me.
Oh.
Just kept ordering from them over the years. So I have to say, I placed that order in like a month and a half ago. And I wrote her a letter. The company is the husband and wife team that owns it, and tell you that I appreciate your service. Just beautiful. I've been ordering from you for like 20 years. And I just wanted to let you know I appreciate you and the consistent good work that you do. Such a pleasure to have people out there, artisans like you, who truly take such real pride and real ethics in what you do. So she wrote me back an email, said, thank you so much. It's always so great hearing back from people who love our product. I did another order with them. Irene, I got the order and I got like 3 other teas. Beautiful handwritten note on the invoice. Regina, thank you for those lovely words. We really appreciate you.
Wow.
In Vancouver, I mean, you can't go there now because they're closed, but please order online from Granville Island Tea, because who does that, Irene?
Yeah, that is amazing.
It really did.
Granville Island Tea, Granville Island. I mean, I guess I could say a competitor tea company. It's my friend's company called the Great Wall Tea Company, but
I will check out your friends because I love tea.
Yeah, I love that you love tea. I remember that you were drinking tea when we were in San Diego visiting Tara when I came to see you gals do Chicago. Regina was playing Mama, the fabulous role of Mama in Chicago. Wow. Well, you know what? The Canadian energy, I would say, is wonderful and positive. So I'm glad you were able to experience it on the other end by these fabulous, great Granville Island tea people. Maybe they'll want to sponsor me.
You should. Listen, I mean, we can drink the tea and you can just give the literal tea, because that's how you do. That's how you do, Alo.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Let me just start by asking and touching upon your current project that I understand is at a standstill due to COVID. So for all my fabulous listeners, we're going to talk a bunch about Regina's roles of these female roles she's had the pleasure of portraying. Right now, she is playing the fabulous supporting lead role of Justice in Rock of Ages in Hollywood at the Bourbon Room in Hollywood. Now, this is a key A-list role. You get to come out and knock it out of the park. Attitude, sass, diva, but she's also a character with heart, a woman who's supportive of other women. So you get this amazing role. We're going to talk about your career, how you got to this role, but let's just talk a little bit about how you booked this role, you're in production, and then COVID. Okay. What happened? Tell us a little bit about that.
You know what? It's an interesting story just to start, because I also work at Disneyland. I do the Frozen Live at the Hyperion show.
Right. And, right. You're a Disneyland queen too.
And there was an actor, or it still is an actor, my friend Marissa, that was in that show. And she was cast in Rock of Ages. I was out of town when they had the auditions. I missed it. I wasn't original company at all. The original casting, I missed it totally. And I was so thrilled in myself that, God, I've just missed out on my opportunity. And I said, well, I was right for it. And I was like, well, it didn't work out. And as it happens, I knew the woman that was playing the part, because I also worked at Universal Studios here in Hollywood, and we Blues Brothers show together. And so she was doing it. Beautiful woman, fantastic performer. I thought, okay, Connie's doing it. It's going to be great anyway.
Yes.
So time goes on. Marissa comes to me one day at Disney and says, Regina, I think this role might be opening up. And I said, really? She goes, yeah, they did have to make a change. And it was just bad timing, really, because Connie's an amazing performer. She works all the time. She has a lot of TV stuff. And just wasn't, timing. Sometimes timing, that's all it was. And so being available, I went and had the best audition of my life because it was only me. And where just me with the director, Christine Hangy, who directed it on Broadway, and all the musical director, Jonathan. And so it just felt like, hey, Regina, you want to come sing some songs? Hey, let's do some sides.
No.
It was the coolest, easiest audition. Came in, I did the thing, I left. And then that was on a Friday. And on Monday, they called and told me that I booked it.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing. It was really just fantastic. And this family is like none other. So beautiful. Such a great cast. Because, joining a cast sometimes, you never know what the energy is, but they're such a family. And especially now, because I don't know if you guys have heard of Nick Cordero up there.
Yes, I did hear that in the news.
Yeah.
It's awful.
He's been our show. And it's been, Nick Cordero and is a part of Rock of Ages Hollywood.
Oh my gosh, Regina, I did not know that. For those that are listening, he's an amazing performer who had some complications with COVID and had to have his leg amputated, and he's in a coma, and his beautiful wife and child. It's a very stressful time for his family. Oh my God, I did not know you knew him.
Yeah, it's insane because Nick is this like 6'3", strapping, robust guy. He had no underlying condition, and then all these catastrophic complications. But I can tell you this right now. 10 minutes ago, we got a phone call Amanda's. I got a phone call from the hospital. His eyes are open and they're tracking. This is such a huge step towards his recovery right now, because we haven't had any really positive signs. It's been 2 steps back since he's been in the hospital, since it's been a month now. But that is the best news we've had so far, that he's actually taking some real solid steps.
Oh my God.
In consciousness and recovering from this thing. Just joining that family has been so amazing. The company here is fantastic. We're really hitting our stride when pulled down. But we've been in touch with the producers, and it's still on. We were all figuring out together how we move forward from this thing.
Right.
Yeah, I look forward to joining that and getting back in.
Getting back to that. So that show you literally opened, because I saw your amazing Instagram. You have your beautiful black dress on and opening with everything. So how long have you been in that show currently? How many performances? Like a few weeks, a few months, or just a few days?
Opened on January 15th.
Oh, okay. So you've got it into your groove and and then it shut down, and now everybody's on standstill. And then word on the street is when things open up, who knows when that will be, that you will be back in the role. Like the show will go on.
Are completely invested in getting this thing up and going. They actually want this to be a nationwide event. They want to take the idea of an interactive, immersive Rock of Ages and put it in Houston and put it in New Orleans, and maybe they want to have sit down this show. And we're kind of the test market and figuring things out so that they have a real solid model to move to other countries or other states. Whenever So would you say this particular production is interactive in the sense of, is it in a lounge where there's drinking, or? Oh my gosh, it's a whole setup. It's in a bar. It's a bar. There's when you walk there, you enter the stairs and everything is outfitted beautifully as a throwback to the 80s, and it's rock and roll. It's guitar. It's wood paneling. It's themed bourbon drinks, because the show takes place in the bourbon room.
It's an actual bar. I thought it was just the name of the theater.
Actual venue. The whole venue is called the bourbon room.
Amazing.
You roll up the stairs and you're in the bar, and maybe you get some bourbon, and then you go in and see a show.
Oh my God.
Bar stands alone. So if you don't want to see the show, you can stay out and have some drinks in the bar.
Right.
There's bands that come in there and play. The show itself takes place in a bar. There's another mini bar.
Oh my God.
And so they serve drinks, and we are all in and out and among.
Okay. Wow. That sounds like taking theater to a whole new level,
People are experiencing the show in a whole different way because you're an actor. Like the show's up and far away from people generally.
Right.
And now they reimagined the show so that it's much more immersive and interactive, and we're right there. We're looking,
Yeah. So now we just have to wait and see because, of course, that's going to be a social distance issue. You know? So I just want to talk a bit about some of the other roles you've had the pleasure of playing because, you are this voluptuous, gorgeous, outgoing woman and you get to play all these fabulous roles. And I just want to talk about some of your favorite ones. I mean, you've got Chicago, Frozen, Hairspray, Fame, Little Shop of Horrors, Ain't Misbehaving. I mean, the list is endless. And now, of course, Justice, which we all know is a dream role. So tell me a little bit about being a leading character woman that gets to take upon all these different characters and roles, sort of what maybe some of your favorites were.
I absolutely love Motormouth Maybelle and Hairspray at Kansas City Starlight a couple summers ago, and it was so good. I love that show, and I always wanted to play that part, and I finally got my chance.
Woo!
Summer of the Mamas, because it was Motormouth Maybelle and Mama Morton in the same summer.
Right.
Yeah. So, but that I love just the whole story of that show and the spirit of, about inclusiveness and togetherness and fighting for what you believe in. I love everything about that show, and that character is just like larger than life.
Yes, she is.
The blonde hair and the songs that I got to sing. The cast was amazing, and it really just one of the best times I've ever even had on stage.
Wow.
I think the first show I did, my first professional show, is called Jelly's Last Jam, and I did it with George C. Wolfe, which is winning director now, and that show was really fun to do. It was my very first equity show. It was impeccable people. I didn't know how lucky I was when I was in, but it was just one of those shows where you were doing everything that you knew you could do well and recognize that and package it so that you could shine like a copper penny. I mean, I was so blessed and I was so happy, and I just understood that in something that was really beautiful.
Yeah.
I have such great memories of that show even to this day.
Oh, wow. And is there a role on your list that you haven't yet tackled that you know you want to?
Girl. Yes.
We're hearing it live here, folks. We're hearing it live.
It's in the works with the theater. As another mama, I've always wanted to play Mama Rose.
Oh,
Mama Rose.
My God.
Girl.
Is that when you say in the works, you mean it's already on the table?
I have a friend of mine is the owner operator and the artistic director at a theater in Atlanta. We're together for years, and we've never been able to make it happen. And so she came to me at the top of this year and said, hey, if I could make, it wasn't even the top, it was like maybe the end of last summer. And she said, if I could make that happen next season, because 25th anniversary season. And she is absolutely one that will take the liberties with pieces and change them and hit them up with a different approach. And she says, if I can make that happen for the summer of 2020, would you be interested? And I was like, oh my God, of course. Oh. Well, here we are. But it's definitely in her head. Yes. I really want to play that role.
Oh, first of all, it's going to happen. And once again, you're perfect for this strong woman, these characters who are funny and intense. You have to have comedy and heart in doing these roles where those are feisty women.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Oh my God. Well, Gypsy, one of my favorite shows. I've played Mazeppa twice. Gotta get a gimmick. Of course, if I was dual citizen, I'd say phone your friend and give me the part, but I'm not. So that's just not going to happen. But you know what? That role, Mama Rose, is an amazing. Patti LuPone, of course, made it famous. You would be so fierce in that role. I would flying in for that. That's something to look forward to. I think having that role and being back in your justice role, those are all great opportunities to have.
Definitely.
Keep your spirits up and your positivity up, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's key. You have to.
Yeah. Would that be a defining moment in your career, getting a call like that, or, having the opportunity for the justice audition, something that you'll never forget that first time, or you'll never forget what that felt like?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think so much of what we do as artists, it's hand in hand with beginning to know yourself and learning more about yourself. Mm-hmm. Because we're out there auditioning, you face rejection, you don't know why, and all of those things. I think the battle to really know that you are enough, just you, and I'm okay if getting the job is not the measure of whether I'm enough. I know that in, and I know that I'm enough going out. And I think we struggle with that.
Mm-hmm.
Just the competition. To your point, when I was actually auditioning for Jelly's Last Jam, it was a big deal because really mostly a Broadway, mostly a New York cast, and George Wolfe had just won a Tony, and everyone in town wanted to be a part of the show. So I remember going in, my mindset was, I'm going to get this show. I'm going to get it. And I had 5 callbacks for the thing.
Oh, God. Oh, that's trauma.
Yeah.
Wow.
The casting director was Irene, because after each one, he called me and be like, okay, that was really good. Here's what they want to see next. And I I felt like he was in my corner, which was so, and he was always in the room. Mm-hmm. So at the last callback, we had a dance call, and I did the combination, and I wasn't supposed to hear it, but George Wolfe was at the table and he pointed at, she's good. That moment was everything to me, because I was so in awe of him and what he did and the work that he's done since.
Of course.
Yeah, and I just took that, and I still have it in my heart for in
validation.
Those. Yeah, total validation. And and then there have been the other calls where you go in and it's crap and I was terrible, and they're like, okay, thanks, bye.
Right.
Those are the moments where I kind of haul that out and be like, don't forget.
Yeah, George pointed you out in the line. I mean, you have to have those moments to be able to pull upon during those, like you said, the times when you don't, oh God, I didn't nail it, or I didn't get it, but never to doubt yourself, and that you know what, hey, I work hard. I know I'm talented. I know I'm right for the role. If I don't get it, it doesn't mean I didn't, deserve it or do a good job. It just means they went another way. But sometimes you need those validations to sort of keep your confidence up.
Absolutely. I mean, like it's always the goal to provide that for yourself. But we're human beings. We want those moments and see what we're putting out there. And we want to know that what I'm putting out there is connecting with someone, is someone, it's have those moments.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, since I don't have any sponsors, I thought I would use this opportunity to bring awareness to a cause that's close to my heart: mental health. Do you battle depression or suffer from mental health? Are you looking for help or to help? Then let me share with you 2 great websites full of resources and information for whatever your needs are, for yourself or for someone you care about. CallTimeMentalHealth.com is created by BC's motion picture industry unions, and healthlinkbc.ca/mental health, part of our BC medical system. No matter who you are or how you're feeling, you're not alone, and there is help out there. CallTimeMentalHealth.com and healthlinkbc.ca/mental health. Now, would you say that part of your confidence and, validating even yourself, you also put together your own shows and you take your package and your business on the cruise ship industry? Now, of course, we all know the cruise ship industry is suffering right now, but a lot of people who haven't been on cruises don't realize the level of performers you get when you pay your money to go on your cruise and eat and drink and travel. You get entertainment that is class acts, Broadway caliber. And I remember when I first met you, years back, and through Tara, we all have our side gigs, we all have our side hustles, and that you have packaged yourself this sort of cabaret show where you're singing and telling stories, and you sold it and do it on the cruise ships. Let's talk a little bit about that and how your confidence to put yourself forward in that realm, how you manifested that.
Yeah. You know what is, I started working on cruise ships doing the production singers show. So I was a part of a cast of about 17, was 4 singers and 13 dancers. And, once I really got a sense for what the audience was like and what they enjoyed, and I was able to marry it with what I enjoy doing, I thought about, why not? Why not put together a show of my own? Yes. And I was able to see a lot of other performers that came there and saw that. And it was a really great way to educate myself and to figure out, okay, I saw that was amazing. They were great. Yes. I saw that, I'm like, okay, that didn't quite come off probably the way they planned. It didn't quite work. So I was able to figure out what I could do, what the audience would respond to. And I presented it to the folks there at the cruise ships, and they were happy to say yes and put that on. So yeah, I did my own shows, and I love being in control of the content,
right?
Because you get to choose songs that are important to you, that resonate with you, and stories that you want to share about yourself. Because ultimately, as performers, we just all want to connect. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be seen and heard.
Mm.
And I feel like that's what I really want to do when I perform. I want to look at people and be like, I see you. You're not the person that's next to you. Just who you are has value. You are going to be a joy to be understood and to be connected with. And I feel like that's always been my goal. I was a really shy kid growing up.
You were?
The worst. I feel like my parents thought something was wrong with me because
oh my gosh, because you're so outgoing and colorful and vibrant and vivacious.
I had to get there because, and then I was labeled as like the bookworm and the quiet one. And I was, I have stuff. I feel like I have stuff inside me that I'm not really confident to put it out there myself. And I have two sisters, and they were both always more outgoing, much more outgoing and gregarious and just naturally funny people. So I felt like I couldn't really compete.
Right.
When I got to college, it wasn't until college I felt like I kind of more than this. I don't want people to just think, oh, I don't have anything to say. And and on the advice of one of my professors, who my story is that my grandmother passed away when I was a sophomore in college.
Okay.
I had this assignment in this class called Intro to Oral Interpretations. And my teacher, Dr. Young, God rest his soul, amazing man, said, here's your assignment is to choose a piece of poetry, come into the class, and read it and interpret it, talk to us about it. So I chose this poem called Death Be Not Proud by John Donne, and it talks about how the human spirit is much larger than death is. It's much more powerful. So I read it in class. And I just lost my grandmother. So it was formed by that, but I wasn't meaning to act by any stretch.
Right.
So I did the poem, and after class, he said, have you ever thought about acting? And I want you to go in with your eyes open, but I think it would be a crime if you didn't at least go and develop it, go and just at least explore it and see what you think. And that's how it happened for me, because I thought, oh my God. I don't have to come up with the words myself. No, it's like,
right.
And that's I started to kind of grow and evolve from there. But that's literally how I started, was professor saying, give it a shot, see what you think. And then I started taking acting class in college and started singing after that. And
did you take that idea of the poem and that experience and transfer it into the cabaret show?
I mostly talked about my travels when I was there. I spoke a little bit about being shy and coming out. I also talked about the shows that meant something to me. I have singers in my family, and honoring the legacy that they left. I think I always kind of dealt with where I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
That moment was always what fueled my cabaret shows.
Well, have people ever approached you to have you dramaturg their own cabaret show? Have you ever thought about taking your experience of building your own project and being hired out to help other people build a cabaret show? Not in competition, but just in the joy of it?
No, you know what? That's such a great idea, girl.
It really is. I just want to say I'm on location. That just happened. That's your side Corona gig while you're waiting for Mama Rose and Justice to come back to the theater. You could dramaturg yourself out as a cabaret leader to other artists who may want to write their own stories but don't really know how to do it.
You know what? That's a great idea, because that's what they are. They're your own space, always makes it compelling. No one else but you. So it's always something fun to see, and I love going to see them.
Oh, I love them too. Well, I think that's something I'm just going to keep on my back burner, because I think it would be so fun. I always had the idea that I would do a cabaret show where it would be all the shows and the roles I didn't get. Now, I am also the type of performer that will submit for everything. I don't care what the part is. I don't care what the breakdown is. If I like the song and I like the show, I'm in.
Girl, I feel like you would have this rep around town. It's like, Irene's coming in to audition, you guys. We are in for a good time.
I'll tell you what, whenever I do go for an audition, I'm always opening night ready. I am hair, makeup, head to toe, nails, accessories, off book. I'm ready. So there's nothing I can walk away saying, oh, damn, I wish I had prepared more, or I wish I knew that lick more or that line more. No, I'm performance ready for the audition.
Because guess what? I watched Fringe.
Oh. Where I play Officer Williams and blow my head off. Yeah, amazing.
Don't do it, girl. Don't do it.
Let me tell you, when I got that audition, FYI, in those days, they would black out all the lines, because of course, confidentiality. I don't want you to know what's happening on the next episode. But I was working as a reader at the time for that show, amongst others, with a fabulous casting house, Clark and Page. And sometimes you as the actress would get 1 line or 4 lines or 10 pages. However, you don't know if it's reoccurring or not. Often, you know, and I always remember this, and I still think this to the day, people be like, oh, it's only 1 line audition. I'd be like, bitch, you don't know. It might be 1 line in this episode, but you don't know what the other 12 episodes are. So just be happy you got the auditions and, you know, positive energy. Anyways, like I auditioned for it and I was like, oh my God, it's it. This is it. I'm going to become Officer Williams. I'm going to get my recurring role on Fringe. And no, I'm dead in the first 30 seconds.
I was like, go on, Irene. Yes. No, it was fantastic. You were great as always.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, you know, I'll find a way to throw that into the cabaret, you know, some of our TV experiences. But I do think, you know, just as far as opportunity, being creative, making money, performing, that is an untouched market. And, you know, there are people who are dominating in it. And it's such a great piece of work to have available. And I've always been thought, you were always an inspiration to me about that, because she's making her money. She's doing her thing. She's not waiting around. Well, she's not in one job. She's doing that. And it's, you know, you've kept a consistent career all these years.
God, you have to, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You really have to. And I feel like I started doing that when I was working on cruises, because you do have a lot of free time out there.
Mm-hmm.
You can really use that time well and, you know, further develop yourself, or you can just, you know, hang out and party, which I did do for like my first year.
Of course. Why wouldn't you? And you get to travel and see the world. I mean, over 30 countries. Same with Tara. I mean, you girls have seen the world.
The biggest gift ever, because I've met people that I wouldn't have known any other way.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, being on the cruise ship, the traveling was amazing.
What's your thought or opinion on that industry in general? Do you think it'll bounce back like everything else? We not going to go anywhere, and that industry will find its way back?
I hope so. That's an undertaking, because I still have really good friends that work in the corporate offices for Princess Cruises, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I get a little bit upset because people just absolutely crucify cruise ships with what's been going on with COVID, and they haven't. There's the norovirus is another highly contagious virus that's just like a gastric thing. They are impeccable with every cruise. They tell you, please wash your hands. Please, if not eat while you're in the buffet line. If you want to have another serving, please leave your dish on the table and come and get new cutlery. People don't do it.
Right.
They're not in a position to really talk about it, because that's their clientele. And you know, wag the finger at them for not doing it. They just take the heat in the press.
Yeah.
But so whenever I tell people, that's not the whole story. The story is people have took the terrible job of being at the wash stations on either side of the buffet, and passengers will come through and they'll say, please wash your hands. They're like, I'm not washing my hands.
Yeah, right.
And they go in the lines. And so their hygiene is maybe not quite what it should be. And that lends itself a lot to these. I just wanted to kind of say it out loud.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
The cruise has been very good to me. And they know the environment that they're in, and they know that any kind of virus, it's so easily spread on there that the part is always people. Whether they adhere to the protocols or not. So there's just going to have to be very much stiffer protocols. They ask people on board, they have to fill out a card, have you been sick? People know if you're on vacation, they're not going to tell the truth that they were. That's the problem. I think they're going to have to be stiffer in those rules. Like, you know, the social distancing is going to be a tough thing to try and manage. Sure. I hope they come back. I think they will. There's nothing that anyone could have ever, it's in the toilet.
Yeah. I think among, you know, all-inclusive vacation resorts, travel, airlines, like everything's going to have to make adjustments or, you know, bounce back from business. But I happen to love taking cruises. Marcus and I went on Alaska cruise with my parents for our 5-year anniversary. I've been on the Alaskan cruise twice. And I'm a huge fan, of course, because I'm obsessed with the buffet and being able to eat and drink all day. But I'm assuming they will as well. And, you know, I sure hope so.
People just have such a love affair with cruise lines and they are and how they operate. I think it's still going to have an appeal and will come back. I'm not sure what that looks like. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. Yeah, when it first jumped off with the Diamond Princess in particular, you know, so they were in Japan. They sanitized the ship from stem to stern. They got rid of linen and they got rid of all the mattresses and they replaced everything. And then the CEO and her family are going to take the first cruise on it just to try and ensure that, you know, let people know that it's it's okay again. But then it really happened so that's where they are right now. But I really do. I think they'll come back. I think they will.
Well, let's keep it positive and to say they will. And that one day, let's say that you, Tara, and I will be doing a trio of cabarets and, all of our family and friends can come on the cruises and eat and enjoy our entertainment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I love that we got a chance to talk about your career and, your roles that you've played and the ones that you still are going to be playing and your experience and always having a positive outlook on everything. Let's talk a little bit about your faith, which I don't know a lot of. And Tara mentioned that. Are you comfortable sharing a little bit?
Of course. I'm a Christian and I grew up Catholic, and then my mom and dad were kind of two minds about the Catholic Church, and no offense to anyone at all that is Catholic, it just was experience, and so my mom kind of started searching. So we were kids, so we went along with her. So I am definitely Christian, born again, and that my faith it's such a center to me. It gives me a sense of peace, especially in our business, where a lot of times you feel like your career is in the hands of whoever's sitting on the other side of the table. In our career and in life in general, just being able to have something that is a constant source of peace and something that I can believe in, that centers the center of my life.
Did you sing in church? Was that something you would do with your mom growing up, or was?
No, I didn't sing in church. We had kids choirs. It was never a solo kind of thing, nothing like that. There was a choir. We would sing in the choir, and I always enjoyed singing. My dad has the OJs and LeVert are on his side of the family, and so we've always had singers in the family. My dad has a great voice. My mom. And that all contributed to my faith too, because I'm from both of my parents. My dad grew up Baptist, my mom grew up Catholic, and parents sent her to a boarding school in New Orleans. She was there from the time she was 12 to when she graduated from high school. Oh, yeah, she was very close with the nuns there, and she thought that was going to be her life.
There you go. And if that had happened, we wouldn't have you.
No, we would not be here.
Thank God Mama Regina did not become a nun. Well, so you find your faith, is it something that you practice daily? Like, how does it work? Like, I'm spiritual. I believe in God. I believe in heaven. I'll talk to people I love that are in heaven, like kind of thing. But I don't go to church. But I feel like that doesn't mean I'm not spiritual. Like,
not at all. I'm actually looking for a church home right now for myself that I can go to. But listen, there's so much that's available online, of course.
That's what you do right now because of COVID.
Yeah, because of COVID, I listen online, and I have one of my friends from the show, Callie and Rock of Ages. We get together in the morning and we have a devotional. We kind of catch up, and then we take turns leading the devotional, and we just like kind of uplift each other and empower each other, and just keep remind ourselves that we have this faith. My spirituality is very important to me.
Yes.
And it just absolutely keeps me anchored and keeps me aware of what's important, The little daily dramas are, things kind of get to you. And that's always something that I struggle with. And that I just have to keep, being a work in progress and learning as I go and practicing. But it's definitely a centering force in my life. And it's insane.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, part of the inspirations why I'm doing the podcast or why I'm enjoying it especially during this time is I like to connect and, see my friends and just, have that connection. And I always kind of have a bit of a positive attitude going through life, even during hard times. I had suffered tremendously when we had the loss of my nephew, and just making it aware to me about mental health struggles and just other people's experiences, and people, oh gosh, how did you get through that? Or how do you stay positive? And, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. All I know is how I interpret things and how I accept things. But I feel like people who have a strong faith or, strong spiritual connections, they have maybe more of a map on how to get through hard times. I don't know if that's true or not.
Ultimately, if I could boil it down to one kind of sentence, it would be that I always believe that everything's going to work out. I always believe that no matter what the circumstances are and what it might look like on the outside, that ultimately it's going to be okay.
Yes.
I really believe that, Irene. I really believe that. And there's stuff that's like totally ugly and tragic that happened. Yeah. But ultimately, I believe in my core, okay, and even out of the most horrifying, something will can come out of it.
I agree with that. I feel like I have that same attitude in ways, but it's interesting to me how someone finds that, whether or not it was through your faith, or in my case, I think I inherited a lot of the positive attitude from my mom, like just how I was raised and how her upbringing of me was always to sort of stay positive or through things. But yeah, sometimes I think, oh, well, the faith or the church, they have the stories and poems and readings that help keep you lifted as well.
As you live that way in your life, as you conduct yourself and move through the world that way, that gets stronger in you, because that is exactly who you are, Irene. It's like have always been this optimistic person. You look for the good. And it's a way that you strengthen yourself and you kind of fortify yourself so that you can move through the world. There is a setback. It's not going to like take you out. And back to us as actors, when you have that audition and you didn't get it, I mean, I developed a habit, I gave myself 20 minutes to be mad about it. I'm like, all right, I could feel whatever the way I want for 20 minutes. Let it happen.
Yeah.
And throw you done.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. That's awesome. I love that you do that. That's a great way to process the negative or the feeling and work through it and then discard it so it doesn't live in your body and take over. Let me ask you this. Do you find that, and again, thank you for saying that about me. I feel the same way about you. I feel the same way about our friend Tara. And again, just talking about how we all met. And just as far as friendships and women in general, do you find that because you share that positive outlook and upbeat personality, that's what you attract as well?
Yes, the female friends in my life, with the women, my girl, everybody wants the best for each other. Their joy is your joy. Their success is your success. That is such a beautiful feeling that you're all connected that way. Just authentically so thrilled when something good happens for someone. And I think that understanding that something good for you doesn't mean something bad for me, or that's not what it means. I love to see my friends thrive, and women especially. We have to be there for each other.
Yes.
So blessed to have women in my life that are like that. And the women that are not, baby, they see their way out. It's like, disappear. It's because it's like, you can't be here. Space for positivity and love and encouragement. That's what we share.
Well, what are like 2 or 3 ways you stay connected to your friends? I mean, is it a phone call? Is it a text? Is it emails? Is it social media? And COVID or no COVID, I mean, how do you stay connected in general, minus COVID?
Yeah. Oh, minus COVID. Yeah, I see them. We get together. We have coffee. We have wine. We texting and whatnot for the friends that I have here. It's that knowing. I think you have your girls where it doesn't matter pass by. You connected.
You're the person that emailed me, whatever it was, 6 months ago when Tara was potentially going to be doing a show in New Jersey. And you're like, girl, let's fly in. And I'm like, oh, I'm totally in. But like, who's paying for it?
Yeah, girl, you got to weed the garden. Beautiful garden, baby. Them weeds want to come in sometime. And you got to nurture, girl. That's some weeds out.
Exactly. So let me ask you this. Now that I've heard on the block that you are writing your first novel, is that something we're allowed to talk about? That you've got an idea? Is that top secret? Because here's what happens when you're on ILO on location. Everything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. So you can say, you know what, Irene, I'm working on a top secret project. Talk to you in 3 months. Or you can say something and then, I don't know. You can talk about it or not.
It is a bit top secret. I can't really right now. I will say that I'm launching it this year. and so I will definitely have that information out for you. But I'm really excited about it.
Okay.
An idea that came to me when I was living in New York. And it's been a long process.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's really come a long way, especially in this last little bit, because what we talked about earlier about maybe some people coming out of a horrible situation, the fact that we have downtime right now has enabled me to really work on it in a way that I work, because you're out there on your grind and you're working and you're so I've been able to really get a laser beam focus about putting all the information together.
Amazing.
And putting it out in the world in a way that I think it's to what we spoke about earlier. Is very much a large part of it is about connecting and seeing people, having people be seen and knowing your worth.
Yes.
Yeah, so I will, we'll talk about it.
Okay. I love it.
Maybe you can invite me back after it launches and we can, that could happen.
Of course. Obviously, ILO on Location isn't going anywhere. All I know is I already know it's going to be fabulous.
I cannot wait for it to like be a real thing. And it's my biggest dream for it is that it kind of starts, maybe it starts as a book, but then it becomes a podcast, or it becomes hang out in your shoes, becomes a podcast, or it becomes a radio show, because it's about theater, it's about Broadway. Maybe it's on Sirius XM on the Broadway show.
It can become so much more. It doesn't have to just be that one thing. I mean, hello, Reese Witherspoon. If she likes your book, she'll make it into series, Big Little Lies, right?
Definitely has lives in other media for sure.
So technically you are fully booked for 2020. Like COVID or no COVID, like that's it. You're busy. You've got your projects. You know what's happening between now and the end of the year to some extent. And if something isn't happening externally, you're going to make it happen internally. Yeah. It's amazing.
That too, girl.
Yeah.
People are happiest, right, when they're following their bliss and they're finding their passion, finding a way to do it. And I think a lot of times we're scared too, kind of intimidated too.
Your faith, I'm sure, and all your spirituality just helps bring that together too. And, living life here. Here we are. So Regina, we have gabbed away because truly you have the gift of gab, just like me.
That is the biggest compliment ever.
Yes.
Hello, y'all.
Yes, you do. And we already know that your secret novel will have its own Gift of Gab podcast and or radio show. So we're very busy standing by for your future projects.
I will definitely be back to talk about them. I can't wait.
You heard it here, gang, on ILO on Location. That was a little sneak preview of Regina LeVert.
Thank you for having me, Irene. It was so much fun.
From your sunny backyard garden in California, guys, where dreams happen and you have made them happen and you are living yours. So I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, Diva. You too. I love how you are getting out there and grabbing this time and making it work.
Thank you. Thank you. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you.
And that's my conversation with Regina. Thank you for listening. And thank you to the amazing Regina for joining me today from her home in Hollywood. You can have the pleasure of hearing Regina sing, as well as see all her current projects, awards, upcoming projects, and her gorgeous amazingness on her website, her Instagram, and her iTunes accounts by searching her name, Regina LeVert. That's spelled ReginaLevert. I hope we made you smile, and I hope you heard something positive from our chat today, whether it's being inspired to connect to a form of faith or spirituality to help lift your spirits day to day or ground you, or being inspired to visit a passion project and look at it through multiple media platforms, or just being excited for the arts to return so we can enjoy all the amazing performances from all the artists out there standing by while companies manage their social distance protocols to come. Lucky episode number 13. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. And thanks for following me along on this little journey. Join me again next time on ILO on Location. That's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And remember, if you enjoyed some rosé along with me, make sure you don't drink and drive. The only place I go from my couch is to the kitchen or the bathroom. You can find me at www.irenecaris.com/podcast. You can follow me on my Facebook public page and Twitter at Irene Caris, or on my Instagram at Irene Caris Loper. Thanks to my amazing husband for giving me my married name, aka ILO. The ILO on Location podcast is hosted, produced, and edited by me. God bless. Special thanks to my gorgeous nephew Connor, aka C-Buddy on iTunes, for the original music. And thank you to my puppy Charlotte for being my most loyal listener and adding her 2 cents barking in the background. Join me again next time as I gab away with another one of my fabulous friends.